big ones. And oh my goodness, here comes Mighty Mouse. Look at the eyes. And the men, too, were special. They were proud of their work and the way it was done. The trucks were called snow fighters, and rightly so. These are some of the conditions they had to contend with, and they did it well. That's just plain hard work. This is typical of the type of work they had to do. And there we got a breakthrough. Cold temperatures also contributed to the problems that were faced by the snow fighters. The banks froze, became almost solid. And as you can see, a great deal of power is required to get through. Engines in these trucks, while rated at only 150 horsepower, at cylinder sizes which go to 1.8 to 2 liters, which is the size of a full engine in an automobile today. Oh yes, you always had lots of spectators. In Kansas, they said the corn was as high as an elephant's eye. I don't know what about the snow. I'm going to have a man show you how deep it is here. I never heard them write any songs about how deep the snow was in New York State, but I guess they couldn't find anything that would rhyme with shovel handle. The Walters Company and the Frink Company collaborated many times in building special equipment for special jobs, and this is one of them. Show us how high that plow is. That's a pretty powerful looking machine when you look at it from that angle. As this truck goes by, you will notice the size of the wheels and tires. Those are 12 by 24 inch, and that's as big as a tractor today. The driver's name in this film, his name is Charlie, and I think he just thoroughly enjoys getting out and doing the kind of thing you see here. He's sort of a show-off in some ways. This type of condition was common. Of course, you see all the automobiles behind there. They've probably been looking for a way out. Sometimes, you know, the roads got blocked for a week at a time. You could always hear the snowplow coming because those engines bark pretty loud, especially when going up a grade and on a clear, cool winter day. The exhaust stack goes right out the top of that hood, sort of a no-frills effort. Yes, chunks as big as automobiles, and you'll see them. Oh, he's in there all right. Oh, we got a visibility problem. A little snow on the hood. That's better. Away we go again. Better get out of there, friend. You think it's deep from up there? You ought to come down in here. Pretty smooth job, Charlie. Come on, get out of there. He'll squash you flatter than bugs on a bumper. Oh, we're going to get some more spectators by the look of it. Look at that, will you? Felt hats in the middle of the winter. Wonder if they've got leather ears to go with them. Well, they've come all this way. We better give them a good show. Hit it again. Well, Charlie's going to come out and have a look-see. You got to remember, though, that there was no power steering in these units, so you went out and took a stretch every time you got a chance. We got enough people there to take up a collection, Charlie. Maybe make some money today. Yes, sir. It sure is good to get out and move around. He got himself a real fort built up around there. Now, back at it again. Frink, who was the builder of these plows, and you see him here, was regarded as the father of the modern-day truck-mounted snowplow. Many of his early designs have remained virtually unchanged, and in tests today, the research people, it is found they're still very efficient. Still got a problem with snow on the hood there, Charlie. Maybe you better talk to the boss about that. Maybe you can design something to clean that off, too. Come on, heave it. Well, we're going to get the cameraman up a tree now so we can get some better shots. Now, if you watch the back of that dump body, that is for real. There's no trick photography there. He's really hitting it. The idea was to roll in as hard as you could. Hit the clutch just as the unit hit the snowbank to protect the driveline and let it carry its way through. What are you doing up on top of that car? Good heavens, that must be 12 feet to the top of there. Do you suppose he's a little bit afraid that that plow isn't going to come through? He's got some skis there. Maybe that's the way home. Charlie, you taking another break? Now, and cut out the horseplay. Watch that. Do you think that your car would push those today? I doubt it. This film was produced in the winter of 1939 and 40 and was lost for many years. In 1978, it was rescued from the trash bin. And a bit of research tells us that the plow you see here was 9 feet wide at the cutting edge, 9'6" high, and 12 feet across the tips of the ears. The truck was the largest model produced by the Walters Company at the time. And a Waukesha engine of about 700 cubic inches was rated at a mere 150 horsepower at 2,200 RPM. It's sure doing a job here, I'll tell you. Boy, I think it's about time to get out of here. That's better. I can see better from over here, too. I'll bet you that that man has got arms like a wrestler. Winging back was a very important part of snow removal. And if you didn't get it pushed back in time before the next storm came, it only took about an hour's blow to fill that hole cut in. And then you're really in trouble because you had no place to put it. He's sure doing a fine job up there. Got some spectators again. Yes, sir, that is hard work, no matter how you look at it. Did you say just 150 horsepower? You're doing a good job, I'd say. No, we got to straighten it out a little bit down here. Must have got off to the side the first time through. Well, we may be able to go to town yet today. Barnes Corners. Yes, Barnes Corners was a little town just southeast of Watertown, New York. It's still there, still on the map. Looks much the same as that, too. People depended on plows to get in and out and get the supplies in. It was different in those days. You didn't run off to the supermarket every time you needed a loaf of bread or a quart of milk. You stocked up ahead of time and kept a couple of weeks' supply on hand. And you also checked on the neighbors. Want to make sure old George and Martha were all right. Always a beautiful sight when you get a breakthrough. And here we go. The whole family's going to town. Horses, dogs, and all. Think he could have got rid of that big chunk in the middle of the road, though. But still, better than going around the field. And here we got help coming from the other way. We got Charlie on the left, and that new county plow on the right. Looks like he's running the diesel. Sure doing a lot of smoking. See that young lad throwing the snowballs there? Do you realize that he's probably a grandfather by now? He sure is an active little rascal. Wonder if he grew up to be a snowplow operator. Well, you get the two of them together, they do all right. Well, we made it all right to New Boston. You see something happening here? How long ago is it since you've ridden on the running board of an automobile? They don't make them like that anymore. Oops, brothers of the brush are in town. Look out, fellas, here comes the snowplow. You never missed a trick. You always got your supplies in as soon as that road was open, because you never knew how long it was going to be till it was open again. Oh, we're going to do a demonstration for one of them contractor fellas. Well, we better check things over before we get out there. We wouldn't want to look like a bunch of amateurs. Got to make sure she's in good shape. What are you doing in there? Come on, get the cat hair out of there. That's a tight squeeze for a fellow your size. Well, you're doing fine. You should impress him with a show like that. He's going to buy one of these rigs, but we'll show him what it'll do. Now that's going home gear. Now come on, Charlie, take it easy. Don't be such a show-off. There's some guys on the roadside here. You'll cover them up if you're not careful. Watch it. Man's best friend loves you anyway, Charlie. Now that's just plain brute force. Now we'll shift up a gear here. Send it down the road. That's a 1936 Ford that you see there in that picture. I'd like to call your attention to the plow that's going to show up on the left-hand side of the screen. The wing on it has been operated with a hand chain block. There it is. They didn't have any of those fancy hydraulics in those days. It looks like somebody's got it in the swamp. You know, I've been watching in this film, and if I had half of those antique cars that are in here, I could make myself a fortune. You see those guys working those shovels? I don't think you could find anybody to do that today. They'd tell you, go get a front-end loader. We ain't doing that. They've learned what those shovels are for. That's to lean on. We get that army going now, we could solve the unemployment problem. So many of them in there, you can hardly even swing the shovel. There's Charlie. get in past him and pull him out forwards, because you'll never move him going back. You'll see a man in here with a shovel up in front of that plow. And he's the man that's been guiding Charlie through these deep cuts, because he can't see where he's going. Can't tell where the road is. So the man holds the shovel up and Charlie heads for it. Now he knows that if he doesn't do a good job of that, he's probably going to have to use that shovel and help to get him out. You wouldn't want to do that. There he is. That's where it is, Charlie. You follow that right down the line. Get out of the road. You notice the back of this truck has got cement blocks in it, and that's what they're using for ballast. One of the big selling features of the Walters truck was what they called four-wheel positive drive, or 100% traction. Now, I don't think there's any denying that that works. And you're going to see Charlie haul this truck out of here, probably dead, and then get it going and take it down the road. Looks like we better make a road for this guy. He's liable to swamp it again. Oh, looks like we've picked up some more hitchhikers. I think it's time we took these guys for a ride and showed them what snowplowing's all about. How do you like it so far, fellas? This is all part of a day's work. These fellas, they're pretty proud of what they do, and they do it well. Don't ask any questions. Feel it's part of their responsibility. This is a little bit of what it was like in the good old days. Well, Ma, it looks like we should head for town tonight. Looks like the road's open. About time we went in and got some groceries. Sure gonna have a good time tonight.